I got my new thing imported. I got the Christian Dior. They wanna look at the foreign. They couldn't even afford it. Look what I did with the bag. Look what I did with the bag. I got a thing in the back, and I ain't taking no chat. I got my new thing imported. I got the Christian Dior. They wanna look at the foreign. They couldn't even afford it.
Follow us on Instagram at Express Truth Show.
Welcome back, people. It's the Express Truth Show, making Thursdays great again. And before we do anything today, I want to say massive shout out to the Patreons, Spotify crew, iTunes crew, Mixcloud crew. Do not forget to check out our website, www.expresstruthshow.com. You know, join our mailing list, buy some merchandise, or even just become a member so you stay in the loop of what's going on with the Express Truth Show. We're here, still in lockdown, still bringing the stories, you know, that matter the most.
Oh, whoa.
See what I'm saying? And trying to stay smiling. A lot of people, you know, are finding it difficult during this time. We send strength to you. And that's it, man. Stephen, what's going on?
Yo, Express Truth Show. Back up in the building, man. You know what it is, like Mark said. A lot of things are going on right now. A lot of people are going through a lot of different types of hardships, and it might be very difficult to try and find a reason to smile, but you gotta keep your head up, man, because tough times don't last. Tough people do, yeah. Might sound cheesy, might sound cliche, but it is true, man. Because tough times don't last forever. What are you saying, family? You're gonna kick it off like a game of FIFA, yeah?
Most definitely, man. And today, yeah, we're gonna be talking about a situation that I feel like I'm very qualified to speak about because, you know, I'm from Erdington.
Yeah.
Originally, so what I'm saying, born, we're not born, but raised in Erdington. You know, I know all the politics of Erdington. Whatever there is to know, every nook and cranny of that borough. I can't speak about Handsworth, I can't speak about Newtown, I can't speak about Lazar. But when it comes to Erdington, I can speak about that.
Oh,
so I'm more than qualified to do that. But before we do that, before we get into the story that we're talking about, yeah, because it's, you know, it's very interesting and we want to cover all angles. Before we get into that, I want to say, people, Express Truth is a podcast, okay? We're a podcast that speak about what is going on in the world. So what I'm saying, we speak about things that might be hardcore, things that might be lighter. You know, we cover all angles. You see what I mean? So when it comes to you going onto a podcast is a talk show.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, this type of podcast is a talk show. We talk about things that happen in the world. So we don't want no DMs of, you know, someone said this or someone said that, or, you know what I mean? Like, this is what we do professionally.
Hold on, what do you mean when you say what type of DMs?
You know when people just moan about different things, this ain't important to speak about or rare.
I don't hear that. Chatty patties, man.
I'm talking off the back of, you know, our last few shows, but I don't want to take up too much time talking
Chatty
about
patty
that.
business, man.
So we're talking about Mowgli, the rapper.
Yeah.
From Birmingham.
I think it's Mogs now.
Mogs, yeah. I'm pretty sure he's probably changed it because of Jungle Book and all of that.
Well, I don't know, because he seems to be embracing the affiliation, because he had a Mowgli from Jungle Book on his thumb, on his chain.
Yeah. So yeah, he's bracing it, but I think, like, you know, calling yourself that and spelling it in the way, like, you know, in a certain way, down the line, if you get big enough, it can become a problem. So
True.
Mowgli happens to be from, you know, Erdington.
Okay.
And he was all over the blogs and the internet yesterday because he was robbed of his jewels. He was robbed of his jewels, and you know, the person who allegedly robbed him has made a response on Snapchat, and that's leaked out as well. We're gonna get into all of that as well. And basically, you know, we're just here to talk about it. We're just here to talk about it. So
facts.
Do we want to read the Exhibit A?
Oh, you want me to read? That's why.
Please
that's
do.
the only reason I picked up my
phone.
Yeah,
please do.
No, I don't do the phone on the show. All right, this is from the individual name. Should I name the individual?
Yeah, man. Allegedly.
Alleged individual involved called Stizzy. He put out a statement a few hours ago. Might have even been last night on Instagram. This is, First and last time, I'm gonna do this internet-ish. People need to stop chatting on things they don't know the ins and outs about, and half you nerds chatting on it ain't never seen a day on road, trust me. If man was trying to get clout, man's done a million more works than taking a man's chain, understand that. Fact of the matter, the man ain't never done nothing for the ends but one move like a boss and start belittling N-words that put in works for the ends, and you doing all this sneak dissing, only real N-words in Erdington know. It's 2021. Anyone believing man are getting robbed for their jewels in their sleep are effing dickheads. The man pulled up on the man them on some G-checking-ish, and it went left for him. Like they say, if you don't feed your wolves, then they're going to put you on the menu. And that's straight facts. N-words for getting man are drillers, not patties.
Okay.
Trying to keep it PC, but yeah.
Your thoughts, first and foremost, because I got a lot to say.
I know you got a lot to say, because it's your stomping grounds. First and foremost, in this situation and many situations that have been like this throughout the UK, throughout history up until now, people say, yo, you got to feed your people, fam. Everybody eats, B. To quote Paid in Full, yeah?
Yeah, man.
You have to feed your people. So what do I mean when I say that? I'm not even just talking on a road basis here. You could be a CEO. So you're the CEO of Screwdrivers Mark, yeah? So you've set up you've set up Hamilton Hammers, yeah? So you sell hammers and all kind of tools and everything. So there's you at the top, and then you have your team around you. So let's say it's a little startup, your company takes off, you get a big investors, you float it on the stock market, all that stuff. So you're making a killing now. But your original team, you start to neglect them. Like, you're taking the biggest part of the pie. Sometimes you're not even sharing the pie. You're eating the whole thing and licking the bowl. So they're out here starving. So they start to get resentful and hateful towards you. So they start plotting on your downfall, man. They're like, hold on, we've put in all this work together. How come it's only my man who's eating? And that can often be translated to the roads. So if you have a crew or a group of people that might be rolling, doing what they're doing, maybe they're moving a bit of this, doing a bit of that, whatever they're doing to get you and make money, yeah? And how often it goes, you have one man who's a spitter, might become a bit of a star in the ends, and then that explodes on the internet and you start getting some traction and some fame. So you might start making more financially stable means of living. So you might start making money through music now, yeah? And because we saw there's the video, there's also a video that goes with all of this, where one video that I saw in question, and I know you saw it as well, that was flooding the timeline, was Mowgli was actually in the jewelers, and he's I think he's taking off his scarf. I think he's in LV, whatever kind of design he's wearing. Takes off his scarf and that, you know, man's all excited because you're getting fresh jewels and everything. The man puts the thumb on him in it, and they're trying to say that the brother there, they're trying to say that was the Stizzy cat who was there with him while he was getting his thumb. Then you fast forward now, man's eating him for his thumb, and like he said it in his words, to paraphrase, if you don't feed the wolves, they're going to put you on the menu in it. So he and others involved must have felt like my man's going through, whether he's killing it on the road or he's killing it in music and he's making a killing now, he's not putting on the man them, but you want to come around like you're some boss, like your name's Ricky Ross. So they felt away and they retaliated, man. Talk to me, Kate.
Why? This one's deep, you know, this one's real deep.
Of course, man.
First of all, that statement to me is a bit, you know, it's hit and miss, because I would love to know in what was, you know, the wolves, yes. what this young brother's talking about, yeah? Who are the wolves? What do the wolves do for Mowgli? What do you do to be fed? When you say, you know, we're not in America, you don't need to get held down. I mean, it's not like you're going to go outside in Erdington and, you know, man, they're going to run up on you where you need, man. It's not like a 50 Cent Supreme thing. You see what I'm saying? Where 50 was beefing with that Supreme dude and he needed muscle around him to move around. I doubt it's a situation like that. So to me, what's your job? Are you doing a professional job and not being paid? In that case, that's the only way that justifies that message. Nothing justifies him robbing his friend. You were never his friend.
Facts.
in the first place.
Bible facts.
Yeah, you were never his friend. And when man are talking about Erdington, yeah, let's really take it. I don't know about any other part of Brum like that. Like with me, all I know is this. There's a mindset that comes from Erdington. That's a fact. There's a mindset that comes. These youths are younger than me, and they've got the same mindset that I used to see. And what that mindset is, you know, I had cousins in Highgate, Ladywood, have cousins in Highgate, Ladywood, Handsworth.
Yeah.
So, you know, weekends I could be in any of those places and see how man's move. If a man was getting money in Ladywood, he would move a certain type of way, but the team around him would move a certain type of way. Like if a man was getting money in Ladywood. But in Erdington, it's like some bad mind thing. I'm being real. There's a mindset of like, if that man's making money over there, I need to eat as well. Like if a man, you know, if a man's shining too much, a man don't like to see that. He just don't like to see it. Now, I doubt Mowgli's getting money like that anyway, to where we can feed people. When man say feed, what do you mean feed? Pay your bills. Give you money to buy things, or what do you mean feed? I would have to speak to that young brother to find out what he means, what has happened, what has actually happened. Are you doing work and not being reimbursed? Or, you know, you're rolling with him and you're not being looked after? What do you mean? But either way, from the video, and you know, they say a picture can speak 1,000 words. So what does a video do? And when you, so I mean, and when you look at that video, that young brother didn't look too happy for Mowgli. That's all I'm gonna say. I could be wrong, but he didn't look too happy for him. He looked a bit like, you know, it looked like they had issues from there. Now I don't know Mowgli personally. I don't.
Yeah.
I know these mans. You know, big up the whole of the Edmund Campion crew, big up the whole of the Plants Book crew, the John Wilmot crew. I know that these mans are between them schools. Get me? I went to Edmund Campion, but I know these guys are between them schools. There's a certain mentality, like I said, that comes from the borough, where if I can't have it, he can't have it. I'm not saying that's what happened, but looking at the words, if you don't feed your wolves, you're gonna get ate and all of that. To me, it sounds like you were scheming on the brother all along. See what I mean? You were scheming on him all along. You get what I'm saying? And when I hear about all that, you know, the talk of the borough and all that, when I was growing up in that borough, yeah, it was a place where the two rival gangs used to come to that borough to rob people. It's only when, you know, guys like, you know, myself and others put up a slight resistance in the borough, and a lot of these younger guys now have been able to come up and do all of it. Like when I'm watching these videos in the area, and I'm like, wow, like back in the day,
couldn't run.
Do you know what I'm saying? But now these guys are able to move around and do what they're doing. Now I'm saying if Mowgli can potentially make these guys some money, and you know, I believe he still lives in the borough, man should be looking out for him. Man is an asset really, because it's like,
true, but
before you jump in, Stephen, it's like, if you look at our borough, we got Mist and we got Mowgli. There's a couple other brothers, but them two are the standouts, yeah. Mist don't live in Erdington no more. Mowgli, I think, lives in Erdington. He is an asset. So, you don't, why try and ruin the brand? If he's getting money, or he's got a deal, or he could potentially bring money to the ends, man should be making sure that these kind of things don't happen to him. And when you say feed, I gotta repeat myself. What do you mean feed? How much money is Mowgli getting to look after a group of men, grown men? What you should be doing is looking at Mowgli. If Mowgli was my brethren when I was a youth, and the kind of mind that I've got, I'm gonna be saying, yo, let me be your manager in some way. Let me be your merchandise manager. Let me be your road manager. Like, learn a job, learn a skill, and then make him employ you for that skill. Because the facts are this. When you look at the brother Stormzy, he's got it right. He's used his brethrens for artwork, for management, for merchandise. His brethrens do them jobs for security. He's put them on. I'm saying learn a skill, go to Mowgli, say, yo, and I'm not saying, you know, I'm not saying Mowgli's some superstar or something, but if the brother's bringing in money,
You never know what can happen.
yeah, you don't know what can happen, but go to him and say, yo, Mowgli, listen what I'm saying to you. I've learned about, you don't even have to go college because enough man don't even want, they're in so much war they can't even go college. All right, if you can't go college, learn it on the internet. Do an online course for, you know, screen printing or you know, tour manager, or I know there ain't too much tours going on now, or whatever it may be, engineering. Learn a skill that Mowgli can benefit from where he has to pay you for your services. We're not in America. We're not in America. You don't need to work with 10 man. You don't need 20 man around you. You don't need 20 man around. We're not in that kind of environment. But that borough is a bad mind borough. That's my borough that I love that borough the most. If I'm even using the right word.
Borough ends, whatever you want.
Whatever you want to call it. I love that place myself.
Yeah.
But pure bad mind goes on in Erdington. From the days when I was coming up to now, you couldn't have nothing. Let me just give you a quick story before I throw the ball back to you. I passed my test. Big up the patrons, Brum Stories, I don't know what episode. I passed my test. Erdington, ERD. I passed my test, my driving test. Mom and dad bought me a little vehicle. I ain't got no war with nobody. I ain't got no war with anybody. Ain't done no one nothing. My mom and dad buy me a car. There you go, son. Congratulations. You know what I mean? Hold that. I drive down to around the ends to guys that, you know, I'm cool with. I park my car at my house on the same night.
Same night, you got it.
Same night. Man's come and lick out every glass on the car. Lick out every glass on my car. I don't know nothing. My dad had a new Jeep at the time, a new 4x4. A man took a knife and scratched my dad's car. This is Erdington, fam. You can't get no money in Erdington. You can't get no money in Erdington, fam. You gotta leave the ends.
That's crazy, fam.
You gotta know who's around you, whether you're doing road or legal stuff. You can't get no money there. There's too much man looking at you. I've seen man literally stand up in ERD, yo. Facts. I'm telling the facts. And it's happened to me too. It's happened to me where a man schemed on me, and you know what I'm saying? But what I will say is that can be the best lessons in life to learn from. Because now you know who your friends are and who your friends aren't. I've seen man standing up in Erdington. Like say me and you would stand up with a third man. And a man will come through in a fresh as Mini Coupes. Pull up. Yo, well go on, family. How's everything blessed? You know what you saying? When he drives off, it's the Indian man driving Bentley Continentals and all that from them days. New things, you know. No one ain't batting an eyelid at them. But the Mini Cooper, brother, my man's a dickhead, you know. Why is he a dickhead? You can't get no money. You can't get... Look how much, man, any real getting money brothers had to leave Erdington. Facts. You had to leave. And before I pass it back to you, one of my close bedrooms dropped a jewel that stuck with me forever. He said, yo, bigger man to me still, looked at me and said, yo, see if you can't handle a man you're rolling with, if things go bad, you shouldn't be rolling with that man in the first place. So there's no way you should be rolling with a man if things get sticky, you can't deal with him. Whether it be, you know, in the right way or the wrong way. I'm not rolling with no brother who ain't got nothing to lose, you know.
It's true.
That's a fact. So I'm saying if my man's really getting so much money, he needs to reevaluate his whole situation. Because the facts are, yeah, now I hear about nothing but straight killers in Erdington. But when I was coming up, disabled brother was robbing, man, in Erdington. One disabled cat was robbing 5 man just because he was saying I'm a part of this gang. I come over there, said, family, I'll sweep him off his feet. See what I'm saying? This is the kind of environment we come from.
Yeah.
Mowgli, I like his tunes. Brother's got a little swag about him. I don't know what he's done to this. There's two sides to every story.
True.
But the facts are, you know, you was never my friend in the first place. Because if me and you, no matter what you do in life, positive things, I'm just as happy for you as you are for yourself. Facts. If you can't say that about a brother you're sitting with, you shouldn't be sitting with that brother.
Judas business, man.
If you come in here today and say, yo, I don't know why these youths are so obsessed with jewels, first of all. To me, it don't make sense. Put your money in something else. Yeah? Get a little chain, whatever. Or what you do, I know the youths might say, no, oh, you can't say that. You see what I mean? Like my nephew and all of them. Like, if you're getting a chain, yeah, custom pendant, when you go to the jeweler, yeah,
ask him to make a fake thing.
ask him to make a fake thing, fam. Say, yo, I need a real one. Make me a fake one, dude. That's how you do it. Throw the fake one on.
And then you wear the fake one wherever you want to go.
Who's going to question you? And then if someone did rob you, you can say, yo, it was fake. And if they make a video, oh, it was fake, you say, that's the reason why, because I didn't trust who I was around. You see where I'm coming from?
Facts.
But Mowgli, again, I'm going to repeat it again because this is a very touchy situation. Mowgli is, you know, on his come up in music.
Yeah.
There's a lot of men in Brum on there come up in music.
Facts.
You got to be very careful who you surround yourself with. Not because a man might look like a bad man, and I don't want to really like diss that brother because I don't know what happened. And far as I know, Mowgli could have done him something, made him do a works and not paid him. To why he done that?
Two sides.
There's two sides. Stephen, what you saying, man? I'm hogging up the whole thing.
Nah, I know, man. I know this is. Nah, you know what it is. I'm just letting you build because I know this is a very touchy. It's a touchy subject, and I know it's close to your heart.
Facts.
In terms of it's ERD. You know what I'm saying? Old stomping ground, all them thing there. But like you said, it's crazy. But obviously, I'm gonna go back. We're gonna bounce the ball
Talk
back
to
and
me.
forth now. You're talking about, you keep saying the feed part, yeah? Like, oh, you don't need a man to feed you. But let me ask you this, family. If you're with you've got a friend or you've got a set of friends,
Yeah.
and one of them becomes super, because I know this has happened to you, one of them becomes super talented, so it becomes an actor, a footballer, a musician, some form of entertainer where he's publicly known and he's making vast amount of money, yeah? I know you wouldn't, but like, if you've got a group of close brethren who like, you could say always supported you and then pushed you to follow your dreams and now you've made it, do you owe them something? Because I go back to a story where they were saying like, I believe it was George Clooney, yeah?
Yeah.
I think he had about 4 to 6 friends. It's an old story now. He gave each of them a meal. Because I think they used to like let him sleep at the sofa and that, and I think they used to drive him to basically they used to support the brother in his with his ambition, and he even paid the tax because you know in America you get you get taxed on everything.
Yeah.
So like they taxed $1 million in it. He even paid the tax, so they got the full $1 million. Do you feel like it should be? It might be a similar situation to that. So maybe they were just brethren rolling on the road, and then you've started doing the music thing, or you started doing the music thing, getting the following, and you've gone legitimate, so you're making legitimate money, and or you've become the new plug on the road. But I was rolling with you from day. How do you feel that person feels? Do you feel like they have the right to feel like they might be entitled to something? Or should they go out and get it themselves?
It depends, yeah. Because first of all, George Clooney is George Clooney. My man's getting real money out here, especially before.
True, but
you reckon,
not even to cut you off. Not even to cut you off, family. Apologies.
Yeah.
But remember, George Clooney wasn't always George Clooney, you know?
Facts, but he only threw the mill. He only started giving out them mills. It was 14 friends.
Or was it 14?
The story you're talking about, 14 influential people in George Clooney's life who helped him along his path, whether he slept on their sofa, whether they borrowed him money when he needed it. When he got into a position, them 14 friends, he gave them $1 million each. But that's George Clooney.
Yes.
And that's a different field. I doubt Mowgli can really, you know what I mean? I don't want to really, I doubt my man's getting paper like that, where we can look after, say, 5 man. You get what I mean? Let's say he makes a 10 grand or whatever it might be. I don't know how this music thing works. I doubt he can really say, yo, I'm gonna pay all these. This ain't like, America. Certain mans here can do it. But I reckon he'll be able to do that if he keeps continuing to grow. But I don't think, I think, like I said earlier on in the show, a man should find a job to do. Make yourself an asset.
True.
Make yourself somebody useful. I don't need muscle. If I'm a rapper, I don't need muscle. I mean, yes, Erdington ain't the best place. Certain parts of it are not the best place to live. There is a lot of bad mind down there. It's nothing to do with bad mind down there. But we're not talking about, Chicago. We're not talking about, you can't go food shop without getting shot at or something. It's not that kind of situation.
I understand.
It has definitely gotten a lot worse, but it's not a situation where I doubt my man needs 20 man to walk with. You know what I mean? I just think it wasn't really your friend to begin with, because even with me, no matter what happens, there's never going to be no beef between me and you.
Facts.
Never, ever, ever, because let's just say, I wouldn't want that negative press on you. If you was a rapper and, something had happened between me, by you being my friend, my real friend, I'd rather walk away and we never talk again than I do something negative to him. You know what I mean? Because you can care about a person from a distance. So I'm saying that, like, with my man, they don't, because that can hurt is, it's a big thing when your chain gets taken, in this world, in that world of them youngsters.
Definitely.
So what I'm trying to say is, it wasn't really your friend like that anyway, because even if it was a thing where a man owed you a money or something, you get me, like, this, the older you get, you realize to yourself, yo, because these men, we're not talking about men that are a million years younger than us.
No.
Definitely you as well.
Just next generation.
Yeah, these are like man's little brothers. Like, somebody should pull them to the side and say, yo, what's going on? Pull Mowgli and say, yo, what's happening here? What's happening with this guy? You, like, with your friend, you ain't paid him, or...
But you know what it is?
Feeding wolves. Sorry, Stephen. Feeding wolves. We're not in the Bronx. We're not in Harlem. We're not in, you know what I mean?
Compton, bro.
Yeah, we're not in Compton where, like, if a man's getting money, yeah, and you're a part of that movement, yeah, and like I said, I don't think he's getting money like that, because probably you wouldn't even be in the ends if you was. Because that's why I kind of say, you have to give respect to Miss for making that move. You can't stay in the zone and you're way above. And what I mean by that, man are driving Corsas and you're pulling up in a friggin' RS3. You see what I mean? It just, man are going to just start to, especially where, in Erdington, man are going to look and say, nah, he ain't sharing. A man can be your brethren, A man can be your friend and still scheme on you in that place.
Facts.
It's that mindset down there. That's why most of the guys from my generation who done anything with their life bounced, got off, went to other places. You was in that car on the way to thingy and you're hearing what, you know what I mean? Enough man had to bounce. Enough man had to get off. They couldn't, because you can't grow, you just can't grow there. I remember me when I realized that, like, yo, I'm gonna have to get off from here. I remember the realization that come to me that, yo, I've outgrown the mindset of this place. You see what I mean? There's a lot of successful people from, one thing I will say is, we produce the most successful people from Birmingham. All the footballers come from there, most of them. All the artists. You know what I mean? There's something in the water there that most people that go on to do, so a lot of them come from that place. But the mindset, there's people that drag you back, crabs in a bucket.
Facts.
There's men that just don't want to see you progress. And I'm not even so much talking about the Mowgli situation. I'm taking it back to my days being down there. One positive thing that we can take away from the past year is that we need to start doing right by our bodies. And that starts with the things that we put into our body. One easy way of fueling our bodies with the correct nutrition that it needs is by taking supplements. So check out A-Rich Nutrition. They sell a wide variety of supplements that will help give your body the things that it needs. They sell supplements such as marine collagen and vitamin C, to name a few. So check out their website right now and start doing right by your body. www.arichnutrition.com. That's www.arichnutrition.com. There's a lot of men that just don't like to see man doing their thing. Just don't. They'll scheme to try and rob you or
Yeah.
And don't get it twisted, people. It's not to get robbed. Is not. Sometimes you're vulnerable. Like I can be vulnerable, you know, with a person. I can be open, no
Let your
homo.
guard down, innit?
Yeah, I can let my guard down. Like if you said to me, there's couple man on one hand that if they said to me, yo, come here to this place, I can go there and have my guard down. Now, if they're setting me up, which that would never happen with the brothers I'm talking about, but a man who I don't even know like that would never get me alone, no homo, would never. But if you was scheming on doing something, by the time I get there, the one time I ever did make that mistake, that would never happen again. Next time, you know, I always make sure if I turn up somewhere and it's something that I don't really know about,
policy, man.
the insurance policy is well paid for.
Oh, what?
You get me? And then so even if something was there, you know, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to say that when I look at these guys coming up in the borough, I'm just saying, yo, my man's an asset. Any little footballers coming up in Erdington, boxers, musicians,
Anything, man.
graffiti artists, whatever it may be, they are an asset. You should be trying to push them and find a use, find something, make yourself useful. Man don't need goons in 2021. Don't need goons.
Oh.
I mean, potentially if you're in the wrong type of game.
Depends where you're running it.
If you're in the wrong type of game,
Depends
yeah,
how
but
you live your life.
a lot of man just, but what I'm trying to say is this as well. If we're trying to follow America, this is now in criticism of Mowgli. If you're getting paper like that, yeah, and I'm just coming completely left field now. If I'm getting dough into a level where, you know, I'm filming myself putting a chain on, that brother in the back should be putting a small chain on off of my coin. If I'm putting on a big chain, he should be putting something on.
Yeah.
If that's my man who's been rolling with me no homo for on the whole come up to what you're saying, when I'm throwing a big chain on, he should be throwing on something.
So maybe not even to cut
Nah, go on.
Maybe that's what he was alluding to when he mentions feeding the wolves. But it's funny we mentioned bad mind. He talking about ERD, but people say that about the whole of Birmingham. That Brum just a bad mind city. People say that.
Nah, that's true, but that's why I gave the example that.
But don't you have elements of that everywhere though?
You do, but what I'm trying to explain to you is that that's why I says that when I was younger, you know, I got cousins in Highgate, Ladywood,
It's a different vibe.
Handsworth, and when I would go down there, it was a slightly different vibe. I remember there was this one brother in Ladywood who was earning, he was bringing money into Ladywood. You get what I'm saying? And when he was bringing money down there, people were mans were making sure he was good in the sense of, you know, you couldn't just roll up to my man and, see what I mean?
Yeah.
You couldn't just break Lady would just be, in the sense of, you know, I used to see the brother running around.
To your point, was that due to him putting money back into Ladywood? Because like we said, I'm not even trying to blame Mogs, but like we're saying in this whole thing, there's two sides to every story. And if we're going off the back of what my man said in his little Instagram post statement, he's trying to say that like, yo, he's trying to G-check up the place like he's the man, but he's not putting no money back into the ends. Maybe he's just coming through stunting if he's just coming through stunting with his chain, with whatever whip he's driving, with whatever he's wearing, if he still does live there. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So, fam, brother, you know what it is? Sometimes people don't even have, a lot of the time, even any reason to hate. Sometimes people just...
You smiling and having things is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just being happy.
Fact, but that's what I'm saying. But I don't want to say... I don't want to say...
Why is he smiling and I'm miserable, fam?
Yeah, facts, but
I go home and eat pot noodle and that.
Yeah, but I'm saying if me and you's rolling anyway, if I'm rolling with you and I'm getting paper anyway, you shouldn't be eating pot noodle. I should... All right, although I've been saying throughout the show, find yourself a job, my man can find them man's a job too. There's no way I should be a success story and guys that...
This family...
You shouldn't have 20 man... You should... if you got 20 man rolling with you everywhere you go,
Yeah.
you're destined for failure anyway. Facts. But if if it's a one or two article mans that you've been around for a minute and you're eating now, what we see a lot of, and I want to take it back a little bit. You've seen it yourself, where a man will give a man a champagne, but no, his fridge is empty. Give a man a bucket of champagne.
Bible facts, fam. Show me the lie, fam.
Yeah, I'm telling you I've seen it, fam.
Show me the lie,
I've seen man come up in, and I could, like I said, when I'm speaking about Erdington, I'm speaking about a place where a lot of hating went on. Because at first, it was more unified in my age group.
Okay.
Because, B23 and B24 always had a little.
Well, I was gonna say, because I know the people them know, for those who are patrons. But when you're talking about the unification in your day, do you mean, was it due to you like having to like stop the gang from coming in and bullying up, man? Do you feel like that helped?
Yeah, because you would have, like in my day, you would have like, say, a gang that would on a Friday night say, yo, we're gonna go up there. Or you might have a snake who lives in the ends, whose brethren's or whose cousin's part of that gang, who would bring them down to try and rob mans or whatever. But it's like, suppose that you be riding your bike. Thank God it didn't happen to me. But you could be riding your bike, get robbed. Then the next kid, you could say to the brothers over the road, yo, I got robbed. Ah, yeah, you got robbed. Next week he gets robbed. Now man have to come together to make sure that these brothers can't come back in. Or man might sell man fake bud. I've seen all kind of things down there. I've seen all kind of things happen, but I'm just saying the mentality. I remember just saying, yo, this mentality is filthy. Thinking like this way of thinking, this snakeration. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying this way of thinking's wrong.
Snakes
like,
on a plane, fam.
Yeah, now I've seen so much things happen where a man will look directly at you and do something, and I think the next two bomb stories are going to be very interesting, but I've seen it happen
As always.
But like I said, any man who the first out of my little section anyway, who's still down there? I'm just thinking.
Anyway,
I don't think anybody from my section is still there. Most man's bounced.
that's good still.
Soon as man got a little pee, I remember there is nice parts of, you see what I mean? Because you know what I'm saying, a little section down there, quieted off where I was resting my head. Man still managed to find me and, down there and do a little bad mind flex down there. So
Haterade, fam.
no, so man,
Man is sipping Haterade. Enough cats are born in 1988,
facts. Don't have emotions.
Oh, what?
So when it comes to this story, it's just like, we'd have to hear more, but I just believe that, get behind him. I think it's better to get. There was one point where everyone was trying to do rap.
Yes.
So what was happening is, I seen it with my own eyes. Everyone was trying to do rap. So you would have, I'm a rapper, I make a CD. You're a rapper from another zone. Now all of a sudden, he ain't real. What he's talking ain't real. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it took so long for Birmingham rap to start getting off the ground. Because there was more fans. There was more rappers than fans at one point.
Yeah.
Everyone was a rapper. It would be like, suppose a man put out a CD, and then a man would look at the CD and say, he ain't real. My bedroom's real though from these ends. So I remember one time I asked one of these kids, I goes, yo, what you mean he's not real? He's not putting in work. So what you mean he's not putting in work? Clearly he is, he's got a CD out. He's not putting in work on the roads. So he has to do crime
To be considered real.
to be considered real. So he has to go out there and risk his life to be considered real. He can't just be a musician.
Backwards mentality, man.
Now, I understand if people are going to say, if he's talking a certain thing, but if he's talking about what he sees, I remember there was a young guy, some of the guys in my area that was rapping at the time, they took a little kid under their wing, very talented kid, the way how he made everything rhyme and he had a good flow and that, but he used to go school out of Erdington. He used to go school in somewhere else.
Yeah.
And the people down there, so these guys that he was rolling with Erdington was official. Like when I say official, like they had him. But when he wasn't with them and he didn't have their, you know, he wasn't under their wing, he was in this other end going to school, and these kids would be like, he's not real, he's a dickhead, and, you know, try and pick on him and stuff. And one day I said, yo, let me listen to his CD. And when you listen to his CD, he was only talking about what he sees in the sense of what's going on. He wasn't saying like, I'm a bad man, I'm a killer. He was just saying like, I've seen these kind of things happen. I've seen these type of things happen. So some man would just throw dirt on your name before even listening to what you're saying.
Well, you know the funny thing with the music thing, and especially in the genre of grime, garage, whatever, UK, rap, whatever you want to call it, drill, trap, whatever. People often forget, because I know what you're saying. People will be like, you can like narrate your life, yeah? So you can be like, I saw this happened, this used to happen on the ends, etc., etc. But is music not entertainment?
Facts.
Is it most entertainment fantasy?
Facts.
So like, why can't I jump on the mic and be like, yeah man, me kill 100 man and me bang 100 girl and you know what I mean? Because it sounds cool. If you can flow on the beat and like, not everything. So is there an unwritten rule though? Like people that have to answer this for me. Is there an unwritten rule? If your material is gonna be crud of the road, you have to be doing these things. Like, is there an unwritten? I'm asking you. I'm asking the people at home. Is there an unwritten rule?
I understand what people are saying. Like,
yeah,
if I'm gonna get on a mic and push poison, like yo, because all this hate is only about black people.
Facts.
All this hate. None of these guys was at their marches in the summer.
Bible facts.
Like when I say the marches, when the EDL was saying, yo, it's basically a race war. Yeah, basically, these men weren't about.
Nah.
When the real, you know, the way I look at it is, if a man's got too much energy, send him to the army, man. Let him jump in one of them Private Ryan things where man are jumping off the boat. If you want to be a bad man, go and kill where you get a medal. Because you can go and kill and get a medal in the army. But I'm just saying, like, you can't get on the mic talking things if you're not living them.
Okay.
You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. You see what I mean? But at the same time, you don't have to talk about crime because, you know, one of the biggest artists from the West Midlands ain't even black. Don't talk about crime. He grew up rich, Mr. Hudson. Forever Young, the Jay-Z hook. You know that tune?
Oh, he's from it?
He's from Solihull, fam.
I didn't know.
You see what I'm trying to say? This is my point. The Streets guy. What's that guy from the Streets?
Mike Skinner.
Mike Skinner. What work did he put in? But he don't get that same.
Dry your eyes, Mike. I know it's hard to let her go, but you gotta let her go. However it goes, blood.
But do you understand my point, though?
Yeah.
Mike Skinner.
Is that due to them being white, though?
But that needs to change. That narrative needs to change. Why can't a young black boy grow up and want to be a musician without having to do crime and stuff?
True, very true, yeah.
Like, that's why I was saying when people, you know, it still happens today. Man will bring up an artist from Brum.
Don't put yourself in a box.
He ain't putting no work. Listen, I don't care if he ain't putting no work. If I like his music, and that's why, you know, even now, we're not really, you know, we're way behind London. We got a lot of talent here in every field.
Yeah.
There's a load of talent, but because it's so divided, and let's be real, Stephen.
Talk to me, man.
We do that too. We do that too.
You talking about, man?
We don't mix with nobody.
But
let's talk fact. No, but say why? Talk the real.
No, it's Bible facts though, but it's due to let me try to be serious. It's due to it being a vicious cycle though. Because in every aspect, well, probably except this one, there's usually people who come before you, and sometimes they become successful. So, let me try it. I'll use Mist as an example, yeah? Because we're talking about Erdington and My Man's Hot. So there could have been someone that he looked up to, like a Birmingham musician before him. And he was like, yo, my man's hard. And maybe I'm not saying he did, or maybe he did or someone else did. Maybe he reached out and said, yo, I'm an up and coming rapper. Yo, you got any tips on that? Yo, but don't chat to me, fam. Figure it out yourself. And he might shun that person, but that might be because the man in front of him shunned him. and so on and so. Sometimes you can trace it back. It's a vicious cycle, man. So then you ask the hot rapper for advice. He shuns you. Then you become the next hot rapper. Then someone asks you for advice. You're probably gonna shun them because you're gonna remember that and say, unless you're big enough to be like, you know what? Let's change the narrative. I did this, this, and this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which 9 times out of 10, let's be real, doesn't happen.
Facts.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like when people man say to us, what thing are you using and what camera are you using and what equipment and all of that. Family, figure it out.
Google's your friend.
I'll keep it real, figure it out, because there was no one in front of us on this podcasting journey and on this social commentary journey and whatever else you want to call it. There was no one in front of us. There was no one I could scream at. You think I could scream at, give me a big name, fam, a Marcus Browley, even though that's not even Brom.
Yeah, we couldn't shout him.
Or even Unbox Therapy.
Man, mate, you know what it is with Brom?
Could I scream at a man? I can't scream at them.
You couldn't scream.
Do you know what I mean? So figure it out, man.
In this,
Cats always want cheat codes, man.
in our what I'm saying to what I'm
We're
saying
not on
to
the
you,
PlayStation, man. Go on, fam.
what I'm saying to you is with what we do, express truth. At the start of this journey, I remember I went up to. You're only gonna get to disrespect us once. You'll get one chance to disrespect. Don't get it twisted, man. In this city there's a lot of egos.
Bible facts.
You get what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is, man don't want to be involved with certain things. So, man, you'll get one chance. And I remember there was one particular radio brother who, was doing some radio stuff. And I asked him a question. Yeah.
Yeah.
A question that I think was, and it was a mutual benefit to both of us, because the position that I was in, I was helping out this brother in certain things.
Okay.
And then when it come around to the time when I needed something back off this brother, it was a disrespect thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So from that point now, it was like, all right, F yeah. You know what I mean? We don't never need to speak again.
Facts.
Simple as that. So with a man like me, it's just a dismissive thing.
Yeah. You just won't hear from man ever.
Man's WhatsApp photo just get greyed out real quick. It would just be a grey silhouette. You see what I'm saying? Oh, man blocked me. That's all it'll be. I'm not
gonna lie. I love doing them ones. I'm petty. I'm petty.
I ain't got time to really entertain nonsense. But a lot of egos have been hurt over the years, where a man would have said, "I do my own thing." So certain man get put on. When certain man do get in position, they go where they go and build their circle.
A lot of the time they bounce from the ends.
That's what I'm trying to say.
End city. Get me? They just bounce like they got springs, go gadget springs, and them gone, man.
And that, you can't blame them.
It's a vicious cycle, but can you blame people though?
No.
Because what is it? Once burned, twice shy, innit?
Once bitten, twice shy.
Once bitten, twice shy. So you can't blame. You know what I mean? Who wants to get bitten twice?
Nah, because if I'm Mowgli now, yeah, let's take it back to Mowgli for a second.
Yeah, man.
Mowgli, whatever he calls himself in
Jungle
today's world.
Bobcat, yeah.
If I got robbed like that and I'm all over the blogs, man is showing my chain, or I feed the wolves, whatever, I'm on the first thing smoking, out of ERD, I'm not living in Erdington no more.
If he does still live there, yeah.
Trust me, because you see which part I live, fam. If you come round there with any type of nonsense, yeah, I don't have to call 999. My neighbours are gonna do it. Neighborhood watch, kid. Yeah, neighborhood watch, Facebook groups and all of that.
Hello? Yeah, it's Joyce at number 7 again. Come on.
Straight neighborhood watch business. Yeah, man, I'm a part of that too. Man, pay council tax out here. But if I was Mowgli, I'm out. I'm finding somewhere out of the ends.
But family, is this just not another story that goes to fuel the fire of you can't stay hot? Sorry, you can't get hot and stay in your ends, or sometimes even stay in your city. Because I hear these. I know we're based in the UK, but I hear these whispers in America all the time. You always rappers talking about, I think it was Boosie saying, nah man, you gotta bounce. He goes, half the time you end up dying in your city because it's bad man.
Facts. But they hear the joke now. One of the baddest movie quotes ever.
Talk to me, man.
Batman Dark Knight. Die a hero or live long enough to become a villain.
Whoa.
That's a fact. You know that whoever wrote that, That's a serious quote, you know. Die a hero. So man can either dead and everyone's gonna have you on the t-shirt. Oh, my man was real, you know, rare. Or you live long enough to a man don't want.
He didn't put in no work.
Man don't want. Man probably say that about us.
Yeah.
In secret.
Yeah.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Probably, yeah.
So in my head, it's just like, yo.
They can suck low and duck low.
Sometimes all you have to do, you just gotta create a circle, a very official circle, where you know, like with
mine's more like a duck, but yeah, carry on.
Right now I can actually say that I've got a very, very consistent, strong union of friends and family. Where even if there's certain man, if I phone them right now to come here now, they're coming right now. Because, you know, trust has been built up over years. Friendship, situations where man have shown who they are. I don't have to worry about that type of thing. See what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, the best thing to do, I'm going to repeat it again. So I know I sound like a bit like a parrot. But if you are really going to get involved in this jewelry thing, which all these kids are doing now, when you go to the jeweler, can I have one real, one fake? Simple.
But they're going to say, nah, I can't do that. That's not real, blood. Nah, blood, I can't do that, fam. That's not real, you know, blood. I won't get my street card.
Depends what you're willing to do, because I'm guessing that
you want to dead over a chain.
I hope these youngsters can make peace with each other. I hope this thing don't escalate, because we have seen some senseless killings in the city as of late. Yeah, you know, there's no way that. Rest in peace to that young brother as well. I think he was 15.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, there's no argument a 15-year-old can have. Yeah, crazy. When I was 15, all I was thinking about is Mortal Kombat, FIFA, and that type of thing.
Yeah, same.
Like how are you 15 thinking about war? I don't get it. Thinking about real war where man could potentially dead. I'm not saying a man might have to throw hands a couple times. That's standard.
What are you scrapping up? What are you arguing about over at 15 Pokemon cards or something?
There's nothing to be arguing about where a man needs to kill.
15.
See what I mean? Where a man needs to kill. There's not. So we gotta stop kind of glorifying this type of thing. Anyway, because so I'm saying, hopefully, with all due respect to the boy, to the young brother that took the chain, maybe that he's calmed down now. He can look back and say, "Yo, that was actually my bedroom." It's never too late to phone a man and say, yo, I was wrong, you know. I'm not saying that you're going to be friends again, but you can say, yo, what I did there, I was wrong. I reacted wrong. And in life, sometimes we have to do that. I know that it's probably a little too late, but contact the brother and just say, listen, I was wrong. That's it. If you're this big road man getting all this money. And another thing, let's talk about it as well.
Talk to me, man.
The jewelers in Brum. Let me give away a little secret. But a lot of man might not know.
Don't literally give away the jewelers.
I'm going to tell them, man. I'm going to tell them. You see the jewelers in Brum?
Yeah.
If you buy a chain off me, and I will have my mark that I put on the gold. Mm-hmm. So I might put a stamp to say that, yo, I made that chain. I made that pendant. If I get robbed for that pendant, there's certain jewelers that won't touch a stolen chain in Brum. Yeah. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen man get jammed up for doing certain things and trying to sell gold. Some jewelers won't touch it. They won't touch a stolen. They won't touch it. And I can tell you right now, most of the jewelers in Brum that man's are checking, moralistically, they're not going to do it. Trust me. So when man, let's say we had a 5-year friendship, yeah, or let's say these men come up from school together, and you've now ruined the friendship from robbing the brother. Do you think it was worth it for probably that chain? The thing is with these jewelers, yeah, not all, but a lot of them, they're giving you nonsense because you're not wearing the same chain Migos are wearing. No. You're not wearing the same chain Little Baby's wearing. You're wearing something that is trying to mimic what they're doing. let's be real, because you're not getting money what they're getting. Some of these men are getting 100 grand a show. I know there's man's doing that here, but you're not seeing Stormzy running around with big chains on and all that, are you?
And you know he's got pay.
And you know he's got dough, you know he's got a mil, a plus, better. So I'm trying to say, when you melt it down, it probably ain't even worth that much. So was it worth doing all of that? And inviting that negative energy in to your life?
For a quick come up.
Yeah, because now, you know, a man has to be on their P's and Q's, because if me, you, and the next man are friends, and you rob him, I'm looking at you with the side eye, you know, because I'm saying, yo, could you potentially rob me?
Facts.
So I'm getting my defense in
We
order.
ain't friends no more, bro. We're not rolling again.
We're not rolling, but the thing is, I'm getting my defense in order, because you know what they say? Every country has an army. Every man needs a defense mechanism.
True.
If a man comes to this building right now with any kind of arms, we have to know we can defend it.
Facts.
You see what I'm trying to say? So I'm trying to say it weren't worth it. It wasn't worth it. And I hate to see Brom go out like that, where, you know, you notice that all our artists, when they get to a certain level, there's always some humiliation kind of thing that goes on. Something that happens.
Something comes out or something, yeah.
Yeah, something happens. Like we'd missed it was that jail thing, where he was in jail and the man was saying, yo, fam, you know what I mean? Sticking it on him.
Yeah.
Now, after that happened, you know, big up them Pakistani brothers and them Asian dons who told man the real breakdown of that, which will stay off the podcast. But I'm saying, you know, you're not seeing, we just need to move better. Just need to move
If you
better.
do better, you do better, family. It's a clashing of egos, man. It's most definitely a clashing of egos. So what's your advice then, man? Get your money and run.
It's hard to say get your money and run, because we need artists in the city.
But if the city's not looking after the artists...
Man need a circle. You build it, the same thing that we're trying to build here.
Yeah, family, but it's easier said than done, because that's why it's the dynamic duo, fam. Not the magnificent seven. You get me? Because it's easier said than done.
Facts.
Because like you're saying, if we want to take it back, let's go off the hypothetical for a moment. We're saying that these men were bridging from school. They've come up together. Now, he's shining, you're not shining. You're giving him the side eye, like you said. Then clearly that relationship wasn't as strong or mutual or beneficial as you first thought. Because like you said, that's like me hitting the belly, fam, and I'm going to cash out. Yeah, my rolly thing and that. Fam, you're throwing on something as well. Come on. I can't be the only one shining and you got naked wrists, fam, a naked fridge, a naked cupboards, whatever the case may be.
Diplomats quote, I think it's Joel Santana, he said, you see me, you see Cam, you see a car next to a car. I see you, I see your brethren in the next man's car. I see you, I see your brethren in the next man's car. Basically saying, when Cameron got money, he made sure everyone got looked after. But I still don't think, I'm not counting a man's pockets, but I doubt my man's doing it like that to where he can.
Family, not even to cut you
I'm
off,
saying.
though. Let's think about it. Like we always say,
Yeah.
this is the microwave generation, yeah?
Facts.
So they don't even want to wait till my man reaches maybe like higher hundreds of thousands or even millionaire status. Whether that's what his net worth or he's getting paid. So let's say, like you said earlier, maybe he's got a 5-man. Family, he might get 20.
Yeah.
And then they all want a piece of that 20.
Yeah, that can't work. Circle has to be smaller. But that's why I say, all right, because I know I keep going off. So let's talk about my advice, because we're getting to the end of the show.
Time flies when you're having fun, man.
My advice would be to Mowgli now, directly, then I'm going to talk to the other brother after. If you got some money and you're able to make a move, the beautiful thing about the West Midlands is there's a lot of little zones you can live in where man don't know them zones. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of little places in the West Midlands where you can dip to and live. Nice, beautiful houses, or whether you want an apartment. Probably move out of Erdington. Take your girl. I don't know if you got any kids or whatever. Go there, and when it comes time to do business or whatever, you fly into the city.
Facts.
And your circle needs to be a man. For a man to know where you live, that it has to be, for me, I could count on one hand how much man I know where I live because of the trauma growing up where the bad mind and man can't just know where I live like that. Facts.
Bible.
You can't just come to where I rest my head like that. It just can't work like that.
No.
It just can't. So I'm saying if for Mowgli, you need to probably move out the ends and, you know, it should be a very small circle and just go on, build up your music career because, you know, it's a small window in music to really cement yourself. So you need to be working on your craft, especially during these times, putting out music, putting out visuals, and you might have to move away from, you know, certain energy. And I've always said, you know, the borough of Erdington, whether it's man getting money on the road or legally or whatever, there's always somebody looking like that guy from Belly that was eating the banana. You remember that scene? There's always man looking like that in Erdington, like, my man's got that new whip, fam. All them, brother, every time I used to come in a new car to the zone, the first question a man would ask, yo, how much you pay for that car, fam? You don't ask brothers that. Yo, did you get it on finance? What kind of bad mind's that, man? You know, if I see you with something, I ask. If you don't tell me, I asking you.
What are you asking for, fam?
So a wise man also told me, matter of fact, I ain't gonna give away that jewel.
Don't give away no jewels, fam.
That's the advice that I
Keep
would
them
personally.
jewels in the vault like Scrooge McDuck, G.
Facts. So that's the advice that I'd give to Mogs. Now the other brother.
Yeah.
First of all, I would say I don't know his story. I don't know what Mowgli did to him. We have to, as black men, we have to let go of aggression being our first go-to. We gotta let go of that. We gotta let go of everything being about aggression and physicalness, physical, handling things physically. There's other ways to deal with things. The last option is war with these countries. The last option's war. They try and negotiate, they try everything first before they're talking about war. We need to understand that, we've got to stop making short-term decisions. Winston Green's Fuller, man, that made short-term decisions.
Facts.
You know what I mean? One little moment of rage, you can lose your life. And I'm saying to that brother, just step back, look at the situation, allow the gang thing for a second, allow the bad man thing for a second. Look at the situation. Was Byman really your friend? If he was, just make it right, man. I'm not saying it might have violated. Sometimes you might have to walk away from a brother. Like, Mowgli could genuinely be everything that brother's saying. They could be doing legal work with him and not getting paid. In life, 2015, yeah? 16, I say we was about 70% to where we wanted to be. I'm talking about this podcast, Express Stream.
Yeah.
Way smaller than what these kids have got going on, but we was about 70% in terms of equipment, premises. We was using our equipment to do work and stuff like that. And we had to start from scratch. We had to walk away and start from scratch, and it took years to get back.
Facts.
Sometimes you have to have the faith to know that I can start from scratch. So, all right, if you was the one who helped him build up his career, you might have to, learn from the loss. Next time I get a brother that I'm working with, I get him on the paperwork. See what I'm saying? I get contracts on him.
Facts.
You got to be very careful in how you move. You can't just throw yourself. You can't just give yourself. People will take advantage of you. People will expect you to work for free. Man will give you a bottle of champagne and your fridge is empty. We've seen it with our own eyes. We've seen brothers that are rich, got dough, and, their team's starving.
Facts.
I'm being real. But there's a lot of men that think like that. There's men who are balling wearing Stone Island jacket, Louboutins, the whole shebang, and his baby mother's getting wet up at the bus stop. Let's keep it real.
Can't afford nappies and that.
Man drive past the bus stop and wet up his baby mother. For me, you're you're hustling backwards.
Facts.
You're meant to be getting money and bettering yourself to make those around you's lives more comfortable. You know what I'm trying to say? There's no way, you know, I'm gonna have my people, my loved ones, and I'm in a certain position, and my loved ones are starving. You see what I'm saying? I should be able to at least teach them something. So I'm saying if Mowgli's doing his thing, give them a job. There's so much jobs in rap, in music. There's so much jobs linked to the career. So you can say to a man, yo, do this. Yo, do that. I want to build a little studio. I'm going to build up a little studio. You can run it for me, or I'm going to do this. You can shoot my videos, learn how to do camera work. You can do, you know what I mean? There's so much different things a man can do to make himself useful. But to that brother, like, with all due respect, you know, the mindset from Erdington has been there way before you guys were coming up. I'm going to tell you the truth. Sometimes a man don't even know where the mindset comes from. And that mindset in Erdington has been there for years. And I agree with what you're saying. People say it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But I've just seen so much backstabbing. I've seen so much hating. I've seen man get whips and man's just hate. Just hate. Man's got girl, man just hate. Man might bust in football, come through the ends, man just hate. I've just seen there's just a lot of hate. Black on black hate. But an Asian brother can be smashing it, Lambos, you know what I mean, designing it off. No one ain't saying nothing to him. I'm not saying you should even hate on him. But when a black man's doing something and another black man sees that, yo, bomb my man.
Hate of self, man.
So, what you saying, man?
What am I saying? What's my advice? I start with Mogs, yeah? Like Mark's saying, if it's a case of you having enough money, bounce, man. Go Gadget Springs and bounce, fam. Bounce like that Tigger from Winnie the Pooh and that. Just bounce.
Facts.
Like, there's no shame in it. A lot of the time, you have to do that to reach the next level. How many artists who are smashing it right now live in Brom? How many really? I think I don't think
Leisha don't live in Brom.
Leisha don't. I don't think Miss don't. Who else is
Millions? I think Millions still lives here.
Is Millions still here?
Yeah.
I think JK might still be here.
JK's still here, definitely.
But not, point being, not many. Like, when you reach a certain level, a lot of people leave. But the thing is, I know you may have road affiliations, but don't look at it as cowardice, man. Like, you're doing the best for your career, yourself, and your family, man. So, Mo's side of the story is that his chain was taken while he was sleeping. That goes back to what you said. Then, if that's the case, that kind of makes it worse, you know. So a man knows where you rest your head and it's come in there and took your things.
Facts.
That's even worse, you know.
Man's home is his castle.
It's supposed to be. Some people can't even stay home for a month. They must have just channel 1 to 5, but that's another story. But you're supposed to be your castle, like Mark rightly said. So family, sort that out, man, because it's a clashing of egos out here. Brom's a bad mind place to begin with, yeah? Like we gave the analogy earlier, it's a vicious cycle. No one wants to help no one because most people have been shunned in the past. Like they've been once bitten, twice shy, like we said earlier, so they don't want to be bitten again. To the brother who has allegedly taken the Tom, fam, that's not the way to get ahead. Even if you feel like Mogs wasn't putting you on, he wasn't giving you any money or opportunity or whatever the case may be, man. You should have spoke to him. You could have worked with him. But like we always say, a lot of the time, this generation is comprised of a lot of microwave users. So a man don't want to peel no potatoes and season them and put a little olive oil on them and thing and put them in the oven for them to cook and brown up. A man just wants a quick thing, microchips, 2 minutes in the microwave, ping, ping, dip that in ketchup and he's gone through. So with Mark saying that, oh, he could have offered you a job and all of that. Family, maybe they don't. Maybe these men probably don't want to work. You know, they probably just want. Oh, that's my bed. You know. Oh, that's my padre. You know, that's my Cody from the road or whatever. He should just be paying, man. They might have that mentality. You know, it's not so far fetched to think that. A lot of mans don't want to go out and grind. Like, you may not necessarily be working a 9 to 5, but man might be like, oh, tour manager, nah, that's long, fam. I'll just come round and make sure you're good in that. Yeah, man, pay me. That's a lot of men just want to be there for the ride. Let's keep it real, man. But yo, if you knew better, you do better, man. Hopefully this situation can be resolved. It doesn't escalate because it's sticky enough. See what I want, man. It may be revisited if more information comes out. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. It's just about, you know, it's just about having long-term thinking. That's
Facts.
it. That's it, man. You know, any up-and-coming guys in Brum that are assets to Brum, that are, you know, making money, getting what's the word? Getting recognition. Man need to kind of be behind them type of brothers.
Facts.
You know what I mean? The ends need to be behind them kind of brothers, because, again, I'll take it to New York. You can't say nothing about Jay-Z in Brooklyn, Cameron in Harlem, Fat Joe in Bronx, Wu-Tang in Staten Island. What's the one I'm missing out? Nas in Queens.
Nas, fam.
Come on, man. Like, you man should be behind these brothers. But there's two sides to every story, and all we're doing is, you know, talking about it. So it's the Express Truth people making Thursdays great again. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe.
Oh,
You know, YouTube crew, Patreon crew, big up yourself. I would definitely be telling that story, because it's a knock-on effect. Sometimes it can, your own family can be a bad mind towards you. You have to move a certain way, even down to small things like liking a post on IG. Just see how a brother moves. Sometimes in life,
you know
just
much
have to see
people
how a
would
brother
just scroll
moves.
past and not like things, but they're like everyone else's things. You're keeping the same energy, so I'm not gonna like your blood clot post either. To be honest, I probably got you on mute. I'll keep it real. So fuck yeah, I know that I love you in it.
But
Show love, you get love back, man.
Big facts. And there was one quote I seen where a man said, yo, and we're gonna end the show on this.
Yeah,
A
man.
man said, yo, a man will look you in the face on your birthday and pretend that he don't know it's your birthday, but be wishing Drake happy birthday on
Bible
Instagram.
facts.
That's a big quote. So that's it, man. On that note, it's the Express Truth Show, people. Patrons, I'm going to tell that full story soon.
A war.
That's it, we gone.
We out of here, man.
As you know, the things we discuss on YouTube are heavily censored. So to hear that uncensored stuff, head over to our Patreon channel. Take a look on screen right now to see the type of topics we discuss, the type of live streams, the type of behind the scenes footage. All we ask is a small amount of $1, which is the equivalent of about 75 pence per month, and you get access to all of this content plus many more. So join us right now and listen to over 100 podcasts that have not been released on any other platform other than Patreon. See you soon.